Hi, and welcome to TransAction TV. My name is Attanasio. I'm the CEO of Hawk Strategies. And joining me for today's episode is my good friend, Dr. Ali Maher, the director of the Rutgers Center for Advanced Infrastructure and Transportation. But for the ease of our conversation today, we're going to call that Rutgers Kate. Dr.
Great.
Maher, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is Ali Maher. I'm a faculty of School of Engineering at Rutgers University, and I also direct the Center for Advanced Infrastructure and Transportation, known as CATE. CATE is a academic research and workforce training center that provides technical services, research services, and workforce training, focusing on a myriad of issues and problems that we are facing, especially in a high volume corridor environment such as what we have here in the Northeast. We have extensive capabilities, facilities, dedicated laboratories to focus on providing solutions essentially for addressing challenges that our transportation stakeholders face in the Northeast. We have been part of the U.S. Department of Transportation's University Transportation Centers program since late 90s, and we are essentially a consortium of regional universities led by Rutgers, and we are also home to a number of major laboratories. For example, the pavement laboratory, Rutgers Pavement Laboratory, that is one of the largest in the Northeast. We also have the only full-scale bridge testing facility in the country. I should say globally. Right. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yeah. And another sort of a test bed and living laboratory that we have created with Middlesex County is the Smart Mobility Testing Ground, or Data City, which we will discuss a little bit further. But engaging faculty, students, and subject matter experts from across the region, we leverage our state-of-the-art facilities and labs, and more than 60 professional staff working at the center, and we have more than 100 affiliated faculty members from across the region. And again, we provide transportation agencies in New Jersey region and nationwide with the kinds of services that and kinds of research capabilities that are absolutely needed, especially as we are facing multitude of challenges at at all levels of the government.
One of the things that, as a former assistant commissioner of the DOT, I'm very familiar with CATE. If you work at one of our state transportation agencies, you've relied on CATE at some point for research and advice on whether it be technology or advancements. So let's talk about some of the technologies you're working on today. What's going on at CATE right now?
Essentially, generally our focus is on state of good repair of our transportation systems, resiliency of the systems, and also providing safe, efficient mobility. So mobility is also another major pillar of our activities. Just to name a few, as I mentioned before, we have the largest academic pavement materials testing and evaluation laboratory in the Northeast. We work closely with state agencies, New Jersey Department of Transportation, Turnpike, FAA Center here in Atlantic City, working together in developing innovative materials, pavement materials, which would cost less, it will have a lower carbon footprint, and at the same time, they are easier to construct and more efficient to maintain. Right. We also work closely with our sister agencies here to essentially provide the next generation of pavement management systems, or decision making on when to inspect, how to inspect, and how often repair and maintenance needs to be carried out. So that's pretty much what we do in the area of pavement materials.
And if I could, Doc, I just stepped out of a session on pavement preservation that had Robert Blight from the NJDOT, the pavement director, and it was talked about how important pavement management and pavement preservation has been for the state and the standing state of good repair. And a super majority, if not almost all, of the advancements in research that the department has relied on in the last 10 years has come from Rutgers Kate. So thank you for the work that you're doing in the pavement
Thank
area.
you for mentioning that. Another area where I could say we are really at the forefront of technology development and implementation in the country is in the area of non-destructive evaluation of infrastructure systems.
Right.
We were the first research program in the country that developed a fully automated robotic system for testing bridge decks. And as you know, maintaining bridge decks takes roughly about 60% of all bridge maintenance expenditure nationwide. So being able to quickly assess, detect, and provide solutions, decision-making solutions for our agencies was critical, and that's where we focused on, and we have developed a number of different automated systems for bridge testing and evaluation. The other area where we are very strong and we have quite a bit of capabilities is doing full-scale testing and evaluation of infrastructure systems. As I mentioned, the Bridge Evaluation and Accelerated Structural Testing Facility, or BEAST, is the only facility in the country where we are essentially testing and evaluating an entire bridge to ascertain how fast they deteriorate, what materials would perform better. We could, in a way, accelerate the deterioration process from 25 years to 11 months.
Right.
So that gives a powerful, tool for decision makers to decide on.
And I would encourage our viewers, if you're not familiar, to go to Kate's website and look into the BEAST. The BEAST, B-E-A-S-T. It is a magnificent structure, and when you seeing is believing, and you can talk about accelerating it, but I've been inside the BEAST with you, and it is an unbelievable piece of technology, and it has benefited the state immensely, so
Absolutely.
thank you.
And it's being really utilized by Federal Highway currently for projects of national dimension, but certainly that's a capability that makes us unique nationwide. The other thing I wanted to mention was a couple of years back, we, in partnership with Middlesex County and with some initial support from NJDOT and New Jersey Economic Development Authority, we created, I would say, the only living test bed or living laboratory for in a way, connected and autonomous vehicle technology in the country. So we have instrumented and essentially multi miles of roadways within New Brunswick, and we have turned New Brunswick into a testing laboratory. The data that we are collecting will be able to feed into a multitude of applications, from traffic safety, congestion management, and ultimately evaluating the automated technologies, automated vehicle technologies. This collaboration with Middlesex County has enabled us to really play an important role at the national level within the context of automated technologies. So that's again another unique feature of the center currently that we are engaged with our local stakeholders.
You've done an amazing job. I mean, even last year you did the living laboratory on Road 1, right outside of your asphalt pavement laboratory. Right. The Rutgers hosted a national conference of the university's maintenance directors for the Big Ten, and in conjunction with a private contractor, Asphalt Paving Systems, the DOT, you did a living laboratory on the road right outside of your facility to teach roadway maintenance. So you really take the education piece of being academics, but put it into real practice. That's a lot different than in some other areas where they just teach from a book versus what you teach, you do.
And it has been an evolution. Since late 90s, we have trained and educated a large number of students, professionals, and another area that is emerging is the application of artificial intelligence in decision making. And for example, recently we worked with New Jersey Transit, and we received quite a bit of funding from U.S. Department of Transportation for this particular project, where we essentially instrumented the Hudson-Bergen light rail, and we instrumented rail crossings where incidents and accidents were frequent. So by doing real-time processing of data, we have been able to detect where the potential areas for incidents are, and using that information, we have been able to come up with effective mitigation strategies to minimize risk to pedestrians and to passengers. So that's again another area where AI is being extensively utilized.
It's fantastic. It sounds like all the work you do is the 5 Ps. Prior planning prevents poor performance, right? You are helping the state, and it greatly benefited the state in their planning and their delivery of infrastructure through the work you do. So I got one last question for you, because clearly we've discussed how beneficial to the state your work is. Recently you signed an agreement with New Jersey Transit, a partnership to support them in several areas.
Exactly.
It's been a great benefit already to the agency. Can you tell us a little bit about that
Sure.
partnership?
So we have been working with New Jersey Transit, naturally being two sister agencies, or public institution and a transportation agency within the state. We have been working closely with them on several fronts. And technology deployment, we have been working closely on developing digital twins of various transit infrastructure systems for better asset management and decision making. Recently, I would say in a year and a half ago, we developed an early warning system for Hoboken Station, for early warning for flooding. So we are now able to provide warning 3 days in advance to station managers, in a way informing them of the level of inundation that they may get within the station, so they could move things around and prepare for these types of incidents. We have recently, as President CEO of New Jersey Transit, Mr. Colori mentioned a few days ago, we have worked closely with them in replacing the windows, the cloudy issues that this agency was facing. So we were able to look into the material properties of these windows and in a scientific way figure out what was the cause of this cloudiness, and then working with New Jersey Transit, essentially we came up to the conclusion that refurbishing them would not be cost effective. So replacement was the option, and at the same time we work closely with their operations units within the agency to in a way optimize the replacement process and being able to come up with a network model that will provide a better decision making and also enable them to replace thousands of windows for more than 400 multi-level cars within the next 3 years.
Wow.
And that's what Mr. Colori announced a few weeks back. So
really
these are the things, very pressing, very practical issues where we bring the best know-how from the academic side. And it's just not Rutgers. We also collaborate with other institutions, with NJIT, with Rowan, with states and state
Texas
institutions.
A&M and University,
A&M,
a lot of
Columbia and Buffalo and others as well. So I think we have created this center of excellence and this cluster of academic capabilities, but in the service of practical and applicable solutions for state
That's a
agencies.
great way to finish, because a lot of times when they look at academia or planning organizations and whatnot, a lot of times folks think that all they're doing is talking about things, creating ideas, and then there's nothing happening with them. But what you've talked about is the practical application of the expertise that you have at the university, because Rutgers is the state university, Kate is second to none in what you do, but to actually see it benefit the riders of New Jersey Transit or the drivers of our roads, because you not only tell the folks what they have, but actually how to improve it. And giving them a plan that they can follow. That's a real asset to any public agency, and on behalf of the taxpayers, thank you.
Absolutely. And the last thing I want to mention is we also do quite a bit of workforce training on an annual basis. We train thousands of transportation professionals from all walks of agency involvement, and that has also been a great way to transfer technology and transfer know-how both ways.
Yes.
From academia.
Yeah, I know you work with the UTCA and other
Yeah,
groups, and
yeah.
you provide training for folks, and the fact that you're not only educating students but the future workforce of the
Absolutely.
infrastructure industry.
It's critical.
It's
Yeah,
a great benefit to the state.
Great.
So, Dr. Maher, I can't thank you enough for being here
Thank you,
today.
Anthony.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ali Maher of Rutgers Kate, thank you for joining us on TransAction TV, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.